Hello. I just saw this guy's video and I listened to almost all of it. I only probably had 10 minutes left on here, but I wanted to show y'all this. This is Tennessee Public Schools Sexualize Children. That's the title of his video. And I believe his name is Christian Journal Media. I think it was something else like Warriors for Christ. But anyway. He was the one that put this up there. And I find this extremely disturbing, what he has put up here. He's saying, I'm going to have you listen to some of his video in a minute. He's saying that his 7-year-old son received this darn flyer. And I just cannot believe that this stuff is, well, I can, but it's just, I can't believe this stuff is happening. It's continuing to happen. It's getting worse and worse. A 7-year-old got this paper from their school, and this Papa Bear over here is really upset, and I understand why. He also spoke in this video about how he went to the public, what is that called? The Board of Education, I believe. There was a meeting, and they cut him off after a certain amount of time. You're going to have to go to this video and watch it yourself. But my thing was just to watch what they're doing and how they're doing this, and then how the principal's trying to act like this wasn't even intended. So let's listen to this for a minute. He's showing a picture now of the actual flyer when it was in color.
So this is the original flyer with colors. See that red bold in the bottom there? There's no way you're going to miss that. So the principal took that, okay, and there's the other side. There are two pieces of paper. The principal actually took that, put them together to make a front and back copy. And the reason I make that a distinction is because the principal, at first, when people were calling the school yesterday, actually said, "Oh, it was an oversight. I didn't read the whole thing. I made it. I didn't
It's an
realize
oversight."
Really? You missed that? You missed that? You didn't see that? That whole page is an oversight to you? This whole thing? You didn't see any of this? Right? You didn't see that at all. So it was a lie. And then, of course, the school director goes and talks to the school board. But besides that, I want to read you this article the news wrote. And this is the response of the school director. Think about this. A flyer that had information about free birth control and pre-pregnancy services was distributed to Mary Hughes K through 8 school sometime last week. Now, the news, of course, didn't say that this was a second grader. They said K through 8, right? Assuming that it was preteens or anything else. They didn't say this was given to a 7-year-old. The flyer in question, pictured below, was actually the back of a flyer that was an advertisement for a remote area medical clinic coming to the region. According to Cox, who's the school coordinator, the flyer was only physically distributed to students at Mary Hughes K through 8 school sometime last week. The flyer discusses options for free birth control condoms and pre-pregnancy planning.
That's him.
News Channel 11's Kaylin Cluck spoke to Cox just hours before a group called Tennessee Pastors Network was set to hold a press conference regarding the distribution of this flyer. Cox told Kaylin that he has not directly heard from the Tennessee Pastors Network about the scheduled event. Cox said in part, "There was no bad intention or political agenda at work here." Well, why would he have to say that if there wasn't any? Do you see what I'm saying? It simply was an intent to share information about free health services. And ordinarily, if it was just this part here, I would agree. I would agree if it was just that part. But it's not. It was this part too. The problem is that they didn't think a parent would say something about it, and they got caught. He added the ETSU Health Services emailed the school's nurse coordinator with flyer materials relating to the Rand Clinic. The school then copied both sides of the flyer and distributed it to students. My 9-year-old didn't come home with this. So looks like there's still some teachers that have some sense in their heads to not give this to children. On the school's part, this was an inadvertent distribution of the material. He did say that the flyer could change, not will, but could change the future of their materials distribution policy. So I ask you, brothers and sisters, everybody watching this video, how is this inadvertent? How is this just simply giving information to how is this relevant to a 7-year-old? I can understand giving this to give to us. I understand that completely. Nothing wrong with this. To 7-year-olds.
And this is what I want to say. If somebody asks me again, why do I homeschool? Here you go. Here you go. These things are occurring in the public school system. They're happening at rapid pace. The things that they're promoting, the things that they are doing. This man continues to speak about why don't they even bother writing abstinence on there, which at least you would say, okay, at least they're talking about abstinence, but it's never spoken about. And I've never heard his videos before, but from what I heard so far, he sounds to be a Bible-believing Christian, and is teaching his children the ways of the Lord. So what I have to say is, when somebody asks me, why do you homeschool? These are one of the reasons why. This is what is being served to your children in the public school system. And some people, like he says in the video, some parents do not care. All they're worrying about is, oh, if they got an A or a B and this and that and other stuff. But look at all the other stuff they're serving. Look at what they're showing the kids. I also want to touch on something that he mentioned about him having children, and he tried homeschooling, but it didn't work out. And it seems in his mind that it's impossible. And I would like to tell this young man, I don't even know his first name, but I would like to encourage him and tell him that it is possible, and that if there is a way to do it, God can help him. Because if I'm able to do it, which trust me, it's very hard for me. But if I can do it, anybody can do it. And I know he has more children than I do, but there are plenty of people that do this with more kids than the amount of children that he has. And he's had beliefs that he has 5 that are in school. So I just wanted to encourage this brother, and I pray that I want to show some links for him to, hopefully if he can see it, that he can find some links that are free online services, like that are free for homeschooling, and just other avenues or ways that he can homeschool his kids, because it is clear that he is a Christian, he's a man of God, and he just cannot stand what is happening in the public school system. And the problem is, this is the reasoning of like some Christians that say, I'm not saying he says this, I'm just saying some people think, well, in the public school system, the kids are the salt, the light, and all of this stuff. But the problem is, most of the time, you don't see the public school system changing because Christians are in there. What happens usually is the Christians that are going to the public school system are the ones that are changing over to the worldly, ungodly things. So this thing about, oh yes, the Christians, the kids have to be sent to be in the light. No, they're most of the time very impressionable, young, and all the influences that are going on around them in the schools is going to cause more harm than good. So I'm just going to show some websites that may be helpful to anybody that's looking into homeschooling, especially this young man. He says he has 5 kids. I don't know what grades they're in. It does not matter. All I'm saying is that it can be done, and I pray that he can get encouraged so he and his spouse can do it. All right, give me a second. Here's one online resource. It's called Easy Peasy. One of them is called All-in-One Homeschool. You can go on this website and scroll down, check out what she has here. You're able to go up here, check out the courses. Some of this, I believe this is for high school, but there's also one that's for elementary. So you just have to go around, look, through her website. But everything on here is free. And she gives you like a schedule, different things you can use for the curriculum. And I'm just wanting to tell you, when you're homeschooling, you don't have to use everything that's on here. That's the beauty of homeschooling. When you start, you're gonna start out someplace, and then as you continue to school, you're teach your children, educate your children, because anyway, as you continue to educate your kids, you're going to see, okay, this isn't working, I need to try something else. And there are plenty of resources online. You just got to sit there and look. This is one. This is Ambleside Online. You go on here, it's AmblesideOnline.org. You go in here, you have to get familiarized with this website, and you can find like different curriculum. This is free, and you can find by like book lists. Over here you can find like the year that you're teaching, and remember there are all kinds of different things they have here. And once I said, like I said before, you don't have to do everything to the T when you're homeschooling. You do what you need to do according to your state. You have to find out what your state requirements are, and then you find the classes and the subjects that are needed, and then you find the way to implement them. You don't have to do it the way the school does it. And a great place to start and become a member, and I highly recommend this because they helped me out when I first started, is HSLDA. Hold on one second. This is HSLDAorg. This is their website. They have been doing this for years now, and you can come on this website and check out some homeschool laws in your state. But long story short, you have to pay for membership for them, but it is well worth it. They send magazines every month or every so often, I forget how many times a year, and they give you information about what's going on with different states and the laws and what people are trying to do and how they help them and stuff like that. And when you go to this, you can find out the laws in your state, so you know what subjects have to be covered, how many hours. And like I said, it may sound overwhelming, but get hooked up to someone that is a homeschool mom and that has been doing it for a while, a veteran homeschool mom. Look on YouTube videos and you'll find out that there are ways to homeschool so you don't have to keep sending your kids to public school with all this madness that's going on. Here's one lady that I have to show you because she is one of my favorite homeschool mom video teachers slash informer of so many things. Hold on a second. And this is the lady I'm talking about. Her name is Shelly, and her YouTube channel is There's No Place Like Home. This woman has been an inspiration to me for homeschooling. She's a relaxed homeschool mom. She has informed our viewers about the public school education, things that are going on in this world, talking about how to homeschool, resources, how she homeschool, all kinds of stuff. And this is a great place to start so people can get their, thoughts together and how they can do things, okay? That doesn't mean that you're going to necessarily do it the way she does it. But the point is that she's trying to show people, especially now that so many people are trying to exodus out of public school, to show them that there is a way to do this. So after watching this man's video, I had to make something up here to talk about this. I am so happy that he put that video up there to inform other Christians about what's going on. And I'm also encouraging that man with his kids that he can do it. It's hard, but they can do it. And just to check videos out so that they can get informed, so they can plunge into it by faith and be able to handle what's to come. Well, thanks for listening. And like I said, the beginning part when I showed you where it says about the whatever he was showing in the Tennessee schools, which a public school was sending out flyers, this is one of the reasons why I homeschool. God bless you all.